You know what I got to tell you that really kind of gets under my skin? Zillow wants you to believe right now that a lead costs up to $2,500. And I mean one lead. We're not talking about a whole month. One lead in certain markets at certain times costs up to $2,500. That's $2,500. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Come on, guys. There's got to be a better way, and that's why you're here. Stick around for this video, and I'm going to break it down for you exactly how to do that way more affordably, and you're not going to have to get yourself into a bidding war with all of your competitors. And that's exactly what you're doing. When you buy a lead from any of the main portals, you pick your poison: Realtor, Trulia, Redfin, Zillow, pick one, right? Doesn't matter. You actually, like I said, you get into a bidding war because what you're buying is the right to compete against your competitors for who can get to that lead first. Now, it's not a lead, it's a respondent to an advertisement because there is no actual relationship with that human being or that couple or that entity, right? It's just purely throwing mud against the wall to see what's going to stick. Now, the big thing is that only 1 to 3% of those leads actually convert. That's retarded because in the real estate industry, do you know the average agent takes 15 hours to respond to an online lead? That's 917 minutes. That's how horrible we all are at responding to leads from cold senders. Actually, they're not leads, they're respondents. Thank you for correcting me, everybody. You're paying a premium with a subpar conversion rate. Does that make sense to anybody listening to me right now? The answer should be no. Now, why am I so animated about this? Well, here's the reason why. You know what? Back in the day, we used to buy from a system called Bold Leads. Now, I think they're still around. I think they're still around. Yeah, I think they might be around. And you know what? We bought thousands of leads, thousands. I mean, I convinced our team to buy all these things because my idea was like more opportunities means more deals. Wrong. Here's the problem. It sounds great on paper because you're like, I can get 25 leads or 50 leads a month. Well, that's 25 new leads a month. So you have 25, then 50, then 75, then 100. 4 months in, you got 100 people. 4 months in, 100 leads. At a 1 to 3% conversion rate, those numbers don't add up because of the amount of follow-up and BS you're going to have to deal with. Or, wait, hold on. You don't always get bad ones, okay? I did pick up a $5.5 million listing from online leads, and it was a great transaction. Happily paid the referral fee to the company that gave it to us. So there is successes in there. I'm not going to say there's not successes, but overall, there's not so much going on. So let's talk about how you can fix that if you maybe don't want to spend the money or just can't spend the money, right? So let's get a little creative. Have you guys ever heard of the orphan program? I bet you haven't. Here's what the orphan program is. The mass majority of real estate agents will 100% or high 90 percentile completely ghost their past clients after the close of the transaction. So the sellers, who were the buyers who then turned into the homeowners who are now going to be potential sellers, never hear from the agent because they're no longer top of mind. The orphan program is really cool. You go to your local, or your title company or your attorney, depends on what state you're in. You get a list of all the people that have owned their properties for over an X amount of time. So an easy identification for this is how I went to Grok a second ago, right? No, I'm sorry, Gemini. Excuse me, Gemini. And I said, hey, look, what's the turnover rate here in a certain city called Alamo in the Bay Area? So what's the average days on market? What's the sales price? What's the inventory, months of inventory, and last sold in the last 45 to 60 days? And what's the average tour, aka the ownership length, for the homeowners in the 94507 Alamo? And for Alamo, it's 11 years to 16.5 years. So I would go back and I would get a list of all the people who bought a property 9 years ago. Yeah, 9 years since their purchase date and up. And I would start marketing to them because that's called the orphan program, like we were talking about. Go by and you categorize it through AI. Then you go buy probably like 1,000 happy anniversary cards. Go out to a local business that's already doing a marketing program. Get that discount. Put your brand on it. Then you personally drive or have a staff member or team member or a buyer's agent or somebody go out to whatever amount of homes that are on that list every single day. Drive out to them. because you can make phone calls and do all kinds of stuff on AI and automate a lot of the crap in your life. Go out there and hand deliver a happy anniversary card. They have no clue who you are majority of the time, but you say, hey, look, did you know 11 years ago, 10 years ago, 13 years ago today, you purchased this home? I just want to come on by and say congratulations. And here's to another couple of years. And I wish you all the best and enjoy the coupon on our team. Well, who are you? Where are you from? Why would you do this? Boom, you start a relationship. That's the orphan program, guys. I'm going to go into a lot of stuff because there's so many free versions on how to go about this, but the orphan program is absolutely insane. And on my next video, what I want you guys to tune into is I'm going to talk about door knocking, which is awesome, which by the way, you can take the same thing I just talked about and just go door knocking off the list of the folks that actually, have been living in that home for a certain amount of time. But I'm going to talk about geofencing and how tremendously powerful it is. And so the next video, we're going to talk about, what, for $2,500, for instead of getting you 2,500 to 3,500, postcards out a month, I can give you 100,000 to 166,000 impressions on the same people and get behind closed gates. So make sure you guys tune into that. But I got to tell you, that's it, man. No more bidding wars. No more paying $2,500 for a single lead. Tell Zillow to go kick rocks. Your money is better spent somewhere else. So I want you guys in the comments down below, comment system, if you have ever kind of done what we just talked about, and then tell me what system you guys used and how successful it was for you. Anyways, we'll come back with the geofencing. Stay tuned for that. But remember, you guys are awesome. Stop burning your cash to compete with your competitors. You guys got this. It's already in your back pocket. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.